Today, I'm going to be showing you how to build the most fastest, easiest, transportable motorhome in Lego Fortnite. And what you're looking at in the background is exactly what we are going to be building today.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
As you can see, I hop in here and there's actually a toilet in there for your convenience. I also have a small power cell up here that you can put your batteries in and you can drive this thing around. This thing is extremely fast. I mean, look at this thing. It is unflippable. It is literally the best thing in the game. Okay, guys, I'm pulling your leg. The real motorhome is right over here. And as you guys can see, this thing is literally massive. Don't know why it looks like it's got a flat tire, but it doesn't. It's got lights on the outside. It's got storage in the back. That is where the large power cell is, along with some thrusters for added boost. You got dual wheels in the back, which I think is absolutely amazing. This thing is pretty much indestructible. We got some cool lights on the front with a pretty cool bumper there. And I'll hop right up in here. No steps needed. You can just boom right up in there. Got that on the first try. And as you can see, as soon as I hop in, there's just so much stuff in here. I mean, you pretty much can live out of this thing. So we got a crafting table here. We got a lumber mill. We got our bed. We got a couple couches here. Nightstand with a nice little lamp. And our first storage unit right here. We got a fridge here with 6 more storage spaces. We got a compost bin, juicer to make ourselves some smoothies. And finally, we got a rune forge here. And yeah, you can pretty much swap out whatever you want to put in here. You don't have to put this exact stuff, but I think this is the most used items in the game. That's why I put them in here. Guys, there's plenty of storage on this thing for you guys to store everything you're going to need. You can basically live out of this thing. But now let's hop in the driver's seat and let's take this thing for a test drive. Now, I could lie to you guys and say this is a very easy vehicle to control and super fast, but guys, it is a motorhome. It is not. It is extremely long and heavy. So that's why we have the use of extra thrusters under. I don't know if you can see under there, but we got thrusters on the bottom. I'll zoom in on them. Those are going to help us turn, and we also got a crap ton of thrusters on the back. If you did see a little bit earlier in the video, those are going to help us go a little bit faster. And also, if you didn't notice, we do have some large balloons on top. That is going to help us navigate through some really rough areas. I'm just going to get going here and I'll try everything without thrusters, and then I will try it with thrusters and show you the difference. So this is me going straight, no thrusters at all, trying to turn to the left, and as you can see, we're not moving. So that's why we need the thrusters, and I started turning the wrong way. So yeah, this is with the help of the thrusters. It is extremely 1,000,000 times better with the thrusters. I would advise only drive this thing with thrusters. And as you can see, it's got a pretty low clearance, so it's not going to make it up this hill very easily. So what we can do is hit that balloon switch, and we are going to start floating in the air, and we can basically treat this thing like an aircraft now. Basically, now you have a floating sky base that is easily transportable. And as you can see, this thing is actually pretty fast once you add them thrusters on there. Now let's turn around before we do hit this mountain. All right, we are now turned around. The thing is extremely heavy, so you don't want to just plop it right to the ground. You kind of want to let go of the balloons and then press them again just like this. And then you will float right to the ground, and then right before you hit the ground, let go of them, and you should come down for a really soft landing. Now that you guys get the gist of this thing, let me show you how to build it. Alright guys, so this is going to be a pretty long tutorial. Make sure you watch closely and make sure you do not mess anything up. And I do have chapters in the description down below if you want to skip to a certain part. Maybe you missed something and you can go back to that part. But anywho, let's begin this tutorial. So first off, like any vehicle, we're just going to start by placing down a small car jack. Next up, we're going to want to place 2 of these 20 by 16 vehicle bases down right next to each other, just like that. Then we're going to come around to the back and make sure you got the vehicle base 08, and we're going to snap it in the center and go 3 spaces to the left, and then snap one right to the right of that one. And we're going to put 1 more row of those, and we're going to go to the vehicle base 07, and we're going to snap 1 on each side just like that. Now we're going to grab ourselves the vehicle base 03. We're going to want to go right to the edge of this piece here and go 3 spaces over just like that. Snap 1 on this side as well, and do the same thing on this side. We're going to go straight to the edge and go 1, 2, 3 spaces over and snap 1 on this side as well. Now those are going to be your axles for your vehicle. Now we can come to the back here and snap it to the back and go 1, 2 spaces over, snap another one to the left of that, and then we're going to have to get the vehicle base 07 and snap 1 like that. And we can stagger them by putting 1 on this side this time, and then putting the vehicle base 08 on these sides, and that is going to be the very back of your motorhome. Now we can come to the front. We're basically going to do the same thing, except we're only using 1 axle. So snap the vehicle base 08 right in the center and go 3 spaces over, and do the same thing here. Snap it to the right, and then get the vehicle base 07 and snap 2 of those in front of the 8s. Now we can get an axle, and we're only going to do 1 axle this time, so make sure it's centered right in the center of these 2. Just like that, and don't put 1 there, didn't mean to do that. Now we got the front axle and the 2 back axles, and the frame is pretty much complete here. Now we can start on building the actual body of the motorhome. And guys, I almost forgot the last step. This is probably the most important step. I don't know how I forgot. Get the vehicle base 08 and just go 2 spaces over like that, snap another one, and then vehicle base 07, snap it to the side. Almost forgot the whole front of the motorhome. That would not have been good. Okay, now we are complete with the frame of the vehicle. Okay, so now we're going to come down to the rustic beam 02, and we're going to place it. See how you can see that yellow and black thing right there, the caution mark? You're going to want to go down 1 more tick so that way you can't see it, and come out so it's like that, so you can place 1 right there. And we're going to snap 1 right to the bottom of that, and then we can snap another 1 right to the top, just like that. And now, before we forget, we're going to place all of our wheels down, because sometimes you can't place them later. You want to place them earlier. Earlier is the better. So now we'll place our 1 wheel right here in the center, and we can come over here and place the other steering wheel on this side, and make sure it's going that direction. And we're going to place 2 large power wheels in the back on each side, just like this. And once again, come over to this side, make sure these are going the correct direction. Now we can go back to our rustic beam 02, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure that it is 1 tick above the bottom there, and then we're going to put another 1 below it, and lastly another 1 on top. Now we can get that same rustic beam 02, and we're going to go right over the top of this wheel, just like that, on each side, and that kind of creates a cool little fender well for the motorhome. Now work your way over to the front of the vehicle, and we're going to place this same beam down again on this right side. Make sure that it is lined up perfectly with the other corner, just like that. And then we can actually get ourselves the rustic beam 03, and we are going to make sure that it is exactly lined up like this. And you want to make sure it's going the correct direction to where the dots are facing inwards, just like that. Now let's head to bed so that we can get some daylight. Alright, we are back in action. You should now have the front of the motorhome completed and the 2 fender wells. And oopsies, this is the wrong part. We want to make sure we have the rustic beam 02 here. I had the shorter one there. Don't remember if I did that. I don't remember how, but if you guys did that, make sure you fix it. Alright, now we can pretty much take this rustic beam 04 and we can just keep placing it along the whole side, making sure it's going the right direction. So we can just keep snapping it just like so. And I guess somehow that ended in the right direction. I didn't mean to place that, but I guess you can place that now too. And if you end off like this to where there's only 4 dots left, now we can get the rustic beam 01 and we can place it there. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. But first off, before I forget, we do have to place a window somewhere in here. So make sure we do not forget that. So come to the bottom and we're just going to piece these beams in here. Just like that. You want to put the rustic beam 02 right there. And then we're going to do 1 more layer down. Rustic beam 02. And we can go get the rustic beam 4 and just start laying them down just like this. Now we can get the rustic beam 02. We're going to place it even with that side. And we're going to go 2 spaces down just like that. Now get your 01 beam. And we're going to go right to the left of that. So that way it creates a nice wheel well for them wheels right there. And we're going to want to scroll all the way down until we find ourselves the beachy window 2x16x12. And we're just going to place it right here. You're going to want to go 2 spaces to the right of the tire mark there, just like that. So there's 2 little dots there. Go 2 spaces to the right. Now we can come back over to our pillars and we can place a rustic beam 01 right to the right of that. And we are going to have to break that because it's not going to fit. What we can do is place a rustic beam 03 right here. And then we can place ourselves the rustic beam 02 right there. And then grab yourself the beam 01 and we can match it up. Oh, I almost had it right there. So that creates an even line on the whole entire side. And now we can add the door right here. Alright, so you want to get yourself the rustic beam 02. We're going to snap it to the right of this one right here. And this is where our door is going to be. So don't place anything else going that way. But we're going to place these on the bottom just like this. Because this is where our door will be. Now we're going to scroll all the way down to the doors once again. And we are going to find ourselves the pirate plank arch. And we can just place this here. And the reason we put an arch is because if you don't know, if you place an actual door on a vehicle, it is not going to work. The door is just going to break. For some reason, I think they have to be on actual foundation blocks and in the ground, not on wheels. For whatever reason, that's the way it is, so we can't have a nice looking door. It's just got to be an archway. It is what it is. So now that we have that archway down, we can continue placing a 2x16 rustic beam there, and then we're going to get the rustic beam O2, place it to the left of that one, and then we can stagger it if we want to. Place that one there and place the 2x16 just like that. Now we have that part complete. We can continue up on top here with the 2x16 piece, and then we're going to get the rustic beam O2 and place another one just like that. Now we have the first top half of this completed. If you would like to add a window here, you can. I'm not going to for the sake of this tutorial taking forever. It is not mandatory. We already have a giant window here for plenty of light, plus we got this door with no door on it. Before I forget, you're going to want to come back to the back and place a 2x16 rustic beam just like that. And we're going to want to place another one on the bottom, and we'll place another one on the bottom of that one. And then we can place one more on the top of that one. So now we have the back just like that. And all we have to do now is connect these two pieces. I believe we use a 2x16 right here. And then we come to the rustic beam 01. Place that there. And then the rustic beam 02. And we will connect perfectly to the back end just like so. Now we officially completed the first level of this motorhome. Congratulations, you are one step closer to building the best motorhome in the entire game. Now, to build the floor so we can hide the wheels. You guys can use whatever floor you want. I'm going to be using the checkered Durburger floor just because I think it looks the best. We're going to get the largest size floor, the 16x16, and just place it right up in the front corner like that. And then we can start stacking them all the way down right to the end until you can't place no more. Then we can come up to the takeout floor 01, and we are just going to snap a bunch of little pieces right on the end just like this. And there we go. There is our floor. Not sure why there is a gap. Vehicles are just weird in this game. Alright guys, and now we're just going to go up one more level with all of these brown rustic beams. And it's pretty self-explanatory, so I will just go ahead and do that real quick. You guys should be able to figure it out, but just in case, if you want to slow down the video and watch me do it, go right ahead. And just like that, we got the second row complete. And now we are done pretty much with the rustic beams. All we want to do now is place a rustic beam 03 on the front. This is going to be for the bumper. Make sure it's centered, and it doesn't have to be perfectly right here, just somewhat in that area. Now we can come over to the Acres Fence 3. Grab that, put it right in the center of that bumper there, and then get the Acres Fence 02. Place it on to the left and to the right of that. And now we have a cool looking bumper. Okay, and now to make the front windshield is actually a lot easier than it looks. You're just going to want to get the open cabin rear, and we're going to place two on the front, one right here, making sure they're centered. Then we can take and twist it to the side and just kind of line them up just like this. And now that is going to be our front windshield. And I know what you're thinking, man, how did you come up with that? Yeah, you know, I don't know, man, I just did. Oh yeah guys, and before I forget, you're going to want to place your thrusters on the bottom of this, because once you knock it off that jack, you are not going to be able to put them on there unless you're flying the actual bus. So let's put them on there now. We're going to put 4 on each side just like this. 4 there, and then we'll put 4 over here. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, that one messed up. And 4. Then make sure you have your guys' health a wrench. And we're going to put these on channel 2. And the reason we're putting these on channel 2 and not 1 is because actually they might be on the channel 1 side, but they're pushing like I usually have them on this side. So it's kind of opposite day, if you know what I mean. And we'll put these guys on channel 1. And there we go. Those thrusters are going to help you turn dramatically. Alright guys, and we're going to come right back to my favorite section, the support section. And now it's pretty much simple from here. We're just going to spam these beachy beam 3s all over the side until we reach the height of these doors. So let's do that. And like I said, if you want to slow down the video, go right ahead. But I'm going to start placing these down, and I'll catch up with you guys once we get to something other than these beachy beams. Alright guys, so if you made it this far, congrats. We're almost done here, guys. We just got a few more things to do. Pretty much all the walls are complete now. All we got to do now is get that ceiling on and figure out the front of this bus here. So nothing lines up perfectly, unfortunately, with these cabin windshields here. So we're going to have to be a little bit tricky with these, unfortunately, but after we're done, it still doesn't look too bad. We're just going to want to get the Beachy Beam 03, and we're going to want to line it up perfect with this windshield, just like that. And we're going to place two of these. Oh my goodness. We're going to place two of these right on top of each other, just like that. And we're going to do the same thing on this side as well. Now we can come to the front, and we're just going to place one right here. Then get yourself the Beachy Beam 02. Place that to the right of that. And then the Beachy Beam 01. Place it next to that one. And then do one more layer just like that. Alright, and now we have that. Kind of looks a little funky right now. But guys, trust me, it's easy to fix. Alright, so now come down to the headlights. We're going to get the angled light bar first. Go right under the bumper here and make sure it's all the way up to where you just turned green, just like that. Place one there, and on this side as well. And then come over to the flat light bar and place it right underneath that one, and it'll create kind of a square headlight type thing, and I think it just looks absolutely amazing. You guys can place lights up on top too. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of the tutorial, but it does make your RV look that much cooler. Now you can come over and get whatever skinny thin floor piece you want. I think the nightly thin floor pieces look the best for the roof, and we're just going to want to place a bunch of them right on the edge, just like this, so that way they go all the way down right to the end there. And then we can do the same thing on this side as well. And you'll notice they don't actually fit over this window, because this window is just a wee bit higher than the walls for some reason. I don't know why, but don't place one there. You're not going to need one. Doesn't matter. With that little tiny gap, you can't even barely tell it's there. Now we're going to come to the front. You're going to get the nightly thin floor piece 8. Nightly thin floor piece, the 8x2x1. And we're going to overlap it by one little block, just like that. And then we're going to get the 12-foot long nightly thin floor, and we're going to overlap it again to the right of that one. Now we can pretty much start building this roof here. We're just going to want to go over literally everything again with this 16-foot long piece, just like I'm doing here. Alright guys, and just like that, you should have your last layer of your roof there. And we're going to finish it off in the morning. Let's get some sleep. Alright guys, this should be the last day on building this RV. I know it is quite the long video, but like I said, this thing has so many pieces to it, it has to be a long video. But let's get up atop here, and let's finish this roof. So whatever thin floor piece you were using, you're going to want to correspond that to the 16x16 piece floor. And we're just going to place it right in the center on top right here. Make sure it is one block over, so that way it overlaps a little bit, just like as you can see here. I will zoom in right there, and then we can just start placing them back. And once you get to the very end, you will notice, oh, you don't reach the end. Well, guess what? Get yourself the skinny thin floor piece again, and we can just keep placing them back until we do reach the end. And we're going to place one more, and there we go. The roof is now complete. Congratulations, your RV is pretty much done. All we have to do now is the interior, but just take a minute and take a look at the outside of your RV. Doesn't it just look absolutely amazing? And now we can probably take it off the floor jacks. I don't believe we have anything else to put underneath here, so let's do that real quick, and hopefully nothing breaks. Let's remove it. Okay, everything's still looking good. Somehow we missed this part. Okay, man, I'm just missing some stuff in this video. Okay, I guess if you guys did miss this, just put these pieces down. I don't know how I forgot that, but all is good. Nothing ever goes unnoticed here, guys. There we go. Good as new. Alright, I didn't forget anything else. Okay, now you might think, oh, you need steps to hop up in there. No, you don't actually need steps. I was going to put steps, but I realized all you gotta do is hop up in here, and it's the perfect height to where you aren't gonna need any steps to get up here, and there won't be any steps blocking your path. So get up here, guys, and you can place whatever you want here. I'm gonna leave it open for you guys. You can place your seats up here, do whatever you want. I will go through this RV real quick again just to give you guys recommendations, but that's pretty much the end of the tutorial, guys. I might go down there and place a few balloons on there, but yeah, you can place a bed, crafting table, place your storage units, whatever you want. And I made this cool little cabin up here with the seat here, and all of these storage bunkers just to have as much storage as possible. But let's go back down there. I'm going to show you exactly where to place these balloons, and that's going to be the end of this tutorial. So get yourself the activated large balloons, place one right on the front corner here, and on the front corner there, and then we can go in the back and place another one on the back corner on each side. Now we're going to want to kind of center one right in the center. Doesn't have to be perfect, just eyeball it, guys. And we're going to do one on the other side, and then we can place two right in the center of those, so that way make sure they are pretty even. You don't want this thing flying unevenly. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to kind of eyeball it, place two right here as well, and that is going to be everything, guys. You should have 14 large activated balloons on top, and if you do, well, that's pretty much it. You can add storage to the back here if you want to, and oh my goodness, I almost forgot. Okay, guys, it's not actually it. So you're just going to want to get... So, we are actually not done with the rustic beams. Get yourself a rustic beam on the floor. You're going to want to place 3 of them on the back here. And this is only for the large power cell. Oh my goodness, how did I almost forget that? You're going to want to place it right on the back end there, right in the middle. And there you go. You can go over, get yourself some nice large chests, and place those right next to that. Now you got a cool little carrier on the back. You got storage, you got your power cell. Everything in the world is just dandy. Now, last step. Place as many thrusters as you want on this back. I like to just do one line because any more and it is quite fast. You don't want a large vehicle being super fast because if you get that thing going, it is really hard to stop it. So yeah, for some reason I couldn't place a thruster there. Let me try it this way. Okay, so for some reason I can't place thrusters there, but you guys get the idea. Place them just like that. I don't know why I can't place any thrusters there. I think my game is just glitched out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Make sure these are on whatever channel you want. And you can place your seat down wherever you want. Hop in that puppy. And you should be able to drive this thing wherever it goes. And like I said, press those thrusters to turn. And you're going to turn, baby. Press that back thruster to go forward. Press these balloons to fly. Whatever you want to do, man, you are going to do in this bus. Obviously, this thing's flying way higher than yours might if you load it with a bunch of stuff on the inside. So just keep that in mind, guys. Try to keep it light on the inside so that you can still fly. If you don't want to, if you want to add as much as you want, make sure you add a few more balloons, and that should solve your issue. But anyway, guys, it's been real. I will see you guys all in the next video. Later.